syllable. I feel so invisible. 'Cause it seems to me that the more I try, the more I see, the less I understand. And I go for you, and I wish you would too. So I want to dream and never lie, and I think to myself it's not so bad.
Hello everyone! Happy Wednesday! Welcome to the, well, I suppose I can say this, the first WedTruckSim. Also the last one of the month, but the first one in 2 weeks. Of not doing this stream because I was not doing very well. I was not feeling well. Actually, I even missed 2 Gaming Fridays. Actually, no, it was 1 Gaming Friday. Was 1 Chill Art Sunday. But yeah, did you miss me? Everyone, welcome. Thank you all so much for joining. And thank God, World of Trucks, excuse me. Thank God, World of Trucks is only ending this event in September because I definitely do need some time to finish this. Also, I think the music is a bit quiet, so let me turn up the volume just a little bit. Second here. Oh yes, it was quite quiet. I hope it sounds better now. Do let me know if this needs any further adjustment. But anyway, yes, today I am on American Truck Simulator. By the way, if my voice by any chance doesn't sound as normal as it should, that's because I am still recovering. But anyway, I'm back on American Truck Simulator. Hopefully I'm gonna be able to finish those event deliveries today. How many did I do? I've done 7 out of 12, so I still got a little more to go on this. But yeah, hopefully I'm gonna be able to finish this today, or at least get close to finishing this thing. And I probably won't be streaming for much longer than the minimum 2 hours that this stream is actually supposed to last, because I do want to rest some more. But regardless, there is one thing that I want to do, if possible, before I end the stream. So by the time I decide to end the stream, I do recommend you guys stick around a little longer after I finish the deliveries, because if possible, I will see about maybe doing some game reports on the stream. So how about that? Would you guys like that? Sounds fun, right? Well, not fun for the guys I will have to ban, if I have to ban anyone. But anyway, let me load my save and let's hit the road. Yes, I do want to load the save. A little while to load. I could swear this used to load faster. Or maybe it's just because I haven't played in 2 weeks. Alright, do I have a trailer here? I do have a trailer. Hey, I haven't seen this truck in ages. Well, what feels like ages. Where am I, by the way? I have no idea where I parked. It's Great Falls in the state of Montana. Okay. Let's look for event jobs. I think that from this point on, I'm gonna have to not use my own trailer for these deliveries, because one thing I noticed is that apparently having my own trailer to do the event deliveries does limit me to only cities that I have already been to, and because of that I have already missed 2 or 3 deliveries from the event, or rather I did them but they didn't count towards the event, and I personally consider that to be a waste. So in that case, let's see, what have we got here? Also, I hope that delivering from Great Falls to somewhere else, like for example Laurel, Havre, I don't know how to pronounce this, or Glasgow, etc. I hope that that is going to count. Let's see, we have something going to Elena. That's too close. I have already done Butte. Is it going to count if I do Great Falls to Butte? I have already delivered stuff to Butte before, but not Great Falls to Butte, I think. You know what? I should probably check my World of Trucks logbook. A second here. I'm going to open this on the other screen. Let's log in on this thing. Almost forgot my login. I'm going to share the screen, guys, so you can also see the logbook. Give me just one moment. Let me get there first. All right, let's take a look. What have I done? Hey, there we go. So the last delivery that I did was from Billings to Great Falls. I've done Butte to Billings. I've done Kalispell to Butte. What else? I've done Butte to Bozeman. Helena to Butte. Butte to Helena. Missoula to Butte. Or Butte. Actually, am I even pronounced this right? I don't know. Whatever. I don't care. Yeah, I have not done Great Falls at all except for this last delivery, so I really hope that this next delivery is going to count. Let's get back to the game. Okay. Oh, I could do a triple trailer. I haven't hauled a triple trailer in years. That should be fun, right? Getting myself tangled on corners because I am out of practice. Yeah, okay, I'm gonna try this. I think the minimum distance is 100 miles, right? So this should do just fine. Yeah, let's do this one. Yes, let's cancel my own trailer. Hey, oh, what is this? Wait, what was the message? Sorry? But whatever. The truck is fine for the heavy haul. What is the worst that could happen? There we go. My guy needs to sleep. Soon, but not yet. Alright, let's get going. Let's see if I still remember how to drive this truck. Of course I do. Oh, it is dark. I wish it was daytime in the game right now. Enemy, please make it day. Oh, I am definitely out of practice. That braking just there, just now, I did not do that quite right. But away we go. Check the mirror. There's nobody there. Good. I actually do have to stay on this lane. Okay. Hey, Head of Clash. Hello. Happy Wednesday. Thank you for joining. Or Thursday, if it's already Thursday for you. Nice to see you. Why legend though? I'm no legend. It is Thursday, then happy Thursday. Time zones are crazy, aren't they? Wait, where the fudge am I supposed to turn here? Map, what are you? Map, you are drunk, go home. Oh, I see. The thing where I gotta turn is actually covered by the little sign there. Turn here. Thank you, Hand. Well, I am better. It could be much better, but I'm not doing as bad as I have been these past 2 weeks. It is good to be streaming again as well. Although, to be honest, if it were just for how I feel like, I would actually still not be streaming, but I do feel much better, and I like streaming, so I might as well. Besides, I have not streamed the Wednesday stream in 2 weeks. That's a long time. No longer, and I would be not streaming for I was almost at 2 years. What am I doing? I would not be streaming for a whole month, and I don't really want to do that. And besides, I have to. I made this way too wide. Besides, I have to finish this event before the event finishes. Yeah, 2 weeks is way too much, way too long. What is this place? That's so many right turns that I have to do here. It would be easier to see where exactly I'm going if it was daytime. Montana, yes, I like it too. It's very nice. I just wish it was daytime so I could actually see the beautiful landscape. Yeah, I found the first time I played on this DLC, it was on stream by the way. I found a hidden road that goes to a company. Where was that? I'm trying to remember where I found the road that I'm talking about. Oof, I can't remember, but I think it was. I think it was around here somewhere. I don't remember where exactly or where it goes to, but it has a cliff where only a single truck can drive by. Even if you are in a car, only a single car can go by. And actually, don't think most of that road fits any more than one single vehicle in either direction at one given time. I hope I have to deliver there again because that place looks really fun. And by the end of that stream, I actually grabbed my scout and I drove there to explore the place. It is super cool. It even has those bridges where you have to drive with your wheels on just the right spot. Otherwise, you are going to get yourself stuck and possibly even fall through. This turn is way much wider than it needs to be. I am definitely out of practice. Should mind my speed in this case. Oh god. See what I'm talking about? But yeah, that was really a really cool road. I hope I find more hidden roads in this DLC. What I am likely going to be doing when I am done with all of these event deliveries is to grab my scout and just drive around randomly exploring, seeing places, seeing if I can fit the car where it probably should not go. It was always fun to do that. But yeah, they did a very good job with this. How long is this trailer? It's long. The long boy. You know something that I haven't done in several years? Reverse park a triple trailer. I used to know how to do that. I don't know how to do that anymore. Probably, because I haven't done that in years. We're green, so let's go. Carefully. I'll get myself tangled there. It is going to be embarrassing if I do get myself tangled. Wait, where exactly is the GPS telling me to go here? Straight ahead. Yes, that's straight ahead. Straight ahead it is. Oh, this is heavy. How heavy is this, Lord? 68,457 pounds. I have no idea how heavy that is. My brain does not function in pounds. Let me ask my phone. £68,457, 2 tons.
68,457 pounds is equivalent to 34.228 US tons.
Oh yes, that is heavy. I gotta be careful with how I brake, with how and when I brake. And again, this is an American truck. It's unlikely that this thing is gonna shoot out of control if I have to brake too hard. If it were an European truck, you know what I mean. Should always be, what should always be? I mean, if you mean that I should always be careful, yes, definitely. And I think it's safe for me to say that I always am. But I have not played in 2 weeks, so I gotta remember how to be careful. But anyway, now seriously, I do have to be a little extra careful with when and how I brake, because this is heavy. There's 3 trailers behind me, and I am out of practice. But that's a very good formula for stuff going south, and I don't want that to happen. Let's use the high beams because this is dark. That's the top speed with this trailer. Oh right, I am doing a World of Trucks event. It automatically limits the speed. I mean, not that I want to speed around. I don't usually speed around anyway. It's just that usually when I am a bit impatient when it comes to event deliveries. I don't know why. I'm just impatient. I'm like, I want to get this done quickly, now, ASAP, you know? Which I think is the reason why I usually get so annoyed when I finish a delivery and it doesn't count. Because I think, oh man, I just wasted time. I could have done something else that would count in that amount of time. Now I'm gonna have to spend even more time doing another delivery to hopefully have it count, which is actually the concern that I have with this current delivery here right now. I'm going from Great Falls to Butte. Is that it? Where am I going to? Yes, to Butte. And I have already done Butte 3 times. I think I've delivered to there twice and from there once. And I do remember that 2 of those jobs I did involving that city did not count, even though I did do different cities. To and from, I did different cities, as dictated by the event rules, and it didn't count. Oh, I am really concerned on whether or not Great Falls to Butte is going to count or not, because I have not done this route yet. I have not even done Butte to Great Falls. So by the rules of the event, this should count, but I have a feeling it won't. And therefore, if it doesn't, then what I'm doing right here, right now, is just wasting my time. Wasting everyone's time, really. And if there's one thing I really don't like, is to waste time. That actually annoys me. Like, genuinely makes me angry. have not checked how many people are playing on this server today. I think it isn't many for some reason, but oops. That's not what I meant to do. I forgot how to check. Oh, right, it's Y. There we go. 91? There should be a lot more people right here, right on the server right now, at this time. There usually is. I don't know why it's so empty today. Probably because I have not played in 2 weeks, so everyone decided to go away as well. As if. Oh man. Having said that, at the very start of the stream I did see someone nearby. And that is one thing I really like about American Truck Simulator. Even with few people on the server, it doesn't matter where you go. Wherever you go, you will always find someone. It may take a little while sometimes if there's too few people on the server, but you always find someone whenever you go. But it's not really something I can really say about Euro Truck Simulator. And as I know, I have said I have talked about this before, but I mean, I think it's always worth remembering about that. And I think that is one of the reasons why, even though the servers for American Truck Simulator on WedTruckSim are usually considerably empty, if we are to compare to the servers on Euro Truck Simulator, I think that's the reason why, or at least one of the reasons why, I never feel bored playing this game. Even if I am driving around alone all by myself like I always do, I don't feel bored here. I do feel bored on Euro Truck Simulator. That is an unfortunate truth. I don't know, I am a weird guy. I am very weird. By the way, I forgot to check the ETA. What is the ETA? 54 minutes. We are very close. This is one of the good things about making short deliveries. Like if the event asks for a delivery that is at least 100 miles in distance, then do something that is as close to 100, but above it obviously. Something that is as close to 100 as possible, because those are quick, short, and you don't spend much time doing those. And therefore you can do more deliveries within an hour, for example, than you would otherwise if you were doing longer ones. It's Scary One, thank you so much for the follow. Happy Wednesday, and thank you for joining the stream. Or happy Thursday if it is Thursday for you. Because time zones are weird. You are very welcome. Nice to see you here. By the way, for anyone arriving on the stream now, if by any chance I don't sound too good and I certainly don't sound very enthusiastic, that's because I am still recovering from being unwell for 2 whole weeks. So that is why I might be sounding a little strange. I mean, there's the fact that I am weird, but that's a different story. But yeah, that is the reason why. Hopefully next week I'm gonna be back to normal already. Also, for anyone arriving on the stream now, this is not a moderation stream. However, if you stick to the end of the stream, and if it is possible,
hydrate. Gotta keep hydrated.
That is a good idea. But if you stick to the end of the stream, and if it is possible for me to do that by then, I will see about doing a few reports on ATS. Let me just do this curve here, and then I'll take a sip of my water. Because staying hydrated is a very good idea. I actually have been drinking a lot of water these past 2 weeks, because as I said, I have been feeling well. So I had to drink more than usual. Believe me, it helped a lot. The only downside of drinking too much water, or let's say as much water as one should, is that then you have to use the bathroom more often. But yeah. Oh hey, we are here already. Let's see if I still remember how to... Truck is heavy. Let's see if I still remember how to deliver a triple. I really have no idea how close I am from hitting the corner of the street there. But apparently I didn't, so good. Alright, place your bets. Am I going to embarrass myself here or not? Let's see, where's the entrance of this place? Here? No. Oh, it's around the corner. Derp. Oh, wait a second. Oh, I have to turn here, which means I actually have to make this turn way wider. Well, probably not as wide as I am making it, but as I said before, I am out of practice with triples. Alright, let's see here. I cannot pick the hardest one. Okay. It's probably for the best. Okay, are all the traders in the company? Okay, for a moment I thought I was going to mess up. How did I do here? It's serviceable. Let's complete this delivery. How do I do that again? T. There we go. That's serviceable. Okay, please. Please tell me this delivery has counted. Please. It did not count. Oh my god, why? See, this is exactly what I was concerned with. Why has it not counted? I mean, there has been several other events in the past where what I did right here and now would have counted. But apparently what this event wants, despite what it describes on the rules of the event, on the requirements, is that I actually make deliveries to completely different cities. Because you're but no, you hurt my little feelings. But here, there have been many World of Trucks events before, not all of them, but there have been those where if I were to make a delivery from Great Falls to Butte, for example, go from Great Falls to Butte, and then from Butte to Great Falls, both would count. But on this one, it does not, because I have already done a delivery to two deliveries to Butte already, except I did from other cities to Butte and also from Butte to other cities. It should count from Great Falls to Butte because I have never done this one before. Go to Havre. Yeah, I'm gonna have to teleport there, because if I just take a delivery from Butte going to Havre, it is definitely not going to count. But yeah, that is exactly what I'm talking about. Apparently what this event actually wants is that you go to every single city and start a delivery from each one of them. So if you already made the one for Kalispell, you cannot do Kalispell again. Even if you are going, even if I were to go from, for example, Sydney, which I haven't been to yet, and then go to Kalispell, it would not count. Alright, let's see if I can teleport to Havre. I think not, because I have not been there yet. Yeah, no, I can't. I would have to drive there. Well, order. How far is that from Great Falls? Actually, not too far, right? Let me check the map. Yeah, it seems pretty close. I could make a quick trip to Great Falls and then do a quick trip to Havre from there. That is close enough. Alright, let's try that. mean, sure, I can log in as GM and teleport myself to there, but I don't want to do that. So let's just do it this way. Route 89, Richfield, Utah DLC. That looks like a lovely little town. These little towns that they have in the... Oops. I turned off the engine. My bad. Those little towns that they have in the United States and all the countryside of the United States, most of them, they look really lovely. I would love to visit some of those. Probably wouldn't like to live in any of them because of how tiny they are. But I definitely would like to visit them. Okay, let's set the GPS to here, actually. This rest stop, because my driver is likely gonna need to sleep soon. And I turned off the engine again. There we go. Yeah, my driver is likely gonna want to sleep soon. Yep. So we can take a quick nap there, and then try delivery from Havre. Oh, this is so much quicker without the trailer. Okay, for this I am actually going to speed. Try and recover some of the wasted time. Besides, we have to travel to Havre, so might as well go a little fast. Fast but carefully. Okay, not this fast around corners. Seriously. I almost hit the railroad. On the bright side, looking at the clock on my dashboard here, it's gonna be morning soon, which means we are finally gonna be able to see where the first we are going soon. Yay! And also see the landscape. Okay, I might be going way too fast for this place. Yeah, by the way, I do check my mirrors, guys. You might even find that occasionally when I am going straight forward like this, you might find that occasionally I take a quick peek to my right side here. That's to look at that mirror there. I am going very fast. But I do stop at traffic lights. I did not need to brake so hard like I just did. But Mike, there is nobody around. Why did you stop anyway? You could just run the red light. No, but I am a good boy. This is a habit. Stop at every red light. This is a habit that I have from the real world, from driving the real world. It's one that is hard to break for me to break. And besides, I do like to play this game. I mean, I do like to drive in this game as I would in real life. At least for the most part. Don't stop, but there's a red light. It tells me to stop. I mean, yes, I cannot stop. That is true. And I mean, there is no rule on WedTruckSim that says that I have to stop on every traffic light. You can actually run a red light like I just did here. It feels really bad though for me. But anyway, you can run red lights. The only problem is if you cause an accident by doing so. Here we go. Hey, we are in Great Falls already. Wait. Wait. Aren't we going to Havre? I feel like I drove a lot already. I thought we were arriving at Havre already. Huh. Clearly I was mistaken. Oh well. Don't turn yellow, don't turn yellow, thank you. Oh wow, I thought I was already arriving in Havre, but I was just arriving back at Great Falls. Oh, that's why the repair shop of Great Falls is actually outside of the city. I thought it was inside the city. Alright, no problem. Oh, look at the sky, it's beautiful. The sun is rising. Oh, back to the cabin. That is beautiful. That is very... Oh god! See, and that is why I usually don't really use external cameras. Thank god I am alone right here, right now. Oops. Alright, no harm done. No harm done. Here's a turn. Let's be more careful. Yeah, I have to be careful around corners. Mostly because I am steering with a keyboard. You can drive perfectly well with a keyboard if you know what you're doing. The only problem with keyboard steering is that keyboard steering and speed, they are not a very good match. The faster you are going, the least you're going to be able to turn into either direction. And that is one mistake that many people who get banned, mostly on Euro Truck Simulator. That's one mistake that they usually do. They take corners way too fast. I mean, even if you are steering with a steering wheel, if you're going too fast, you are going to shoot off. And that is how some people end up in the wrong side of the road when going around a corner, and then crashing head on into someone. Hey, we are there. The last best place, 9 out of 15. Oh, there's achievements for discovering all the cities. Yes, there's always achievements for discovering all the cities. I completely forgot about that. Ah, shut up about the way station game. Oh, should have changed lanes. Oh my god, I didn't even realize that. Clear? Clear? Let's go. Yes, finally. Let's just have my driver take a quick nap here, and then I'm gonna pick a load. This so I can see where the rest spot is. There we go. Okay. Hey, we can actually see my truck now. Nice. Alright, let's do a quick save here. Let's see what World of Trucks has to offer. My driver hasn't slept for 5 months, I think. Poor guy. Yeah, I have the... what's it called again? The sleepy thing simulation. Fatigue simulation enabled, so my guy has to sleep. One thing that I find interesting, however, is that the driver on American Truck Simulator doesn't seem to need to sleep as often as the driver on your Truck Simulator. It could be just my impression, but I feel like on ETS2 I have to stop to sleep way more often than I do on ATS. Avery is only giving me stuff that I have already been to. As a refresh, hopefully it's going to give me something different. Like in theory, Avery to Great Falls should count, but based on what I have already experienced, it won't, because I have already done a delivery from Great Falls to somewhere else. That is so stupid. Because I mean, there's only so many cities in this. How many cities are here? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. Well, I suppose in theory that should be enough. It does ask for 12 deliveries after all. How about... I have already been to Livingstone, however. That's the problem. Reptane! I don't know what moin means, but I assume it means good morning or something like that, or hello. Regardless, happy Wednesday! Well, Thursday for you. Thank you for joining. Haven't seen you in forever. What about Billings? I have already been to Billings. Well, I can do some grains to Glendive. Okay, yeah, sure, let's do that. I almost clicked cancel, like a dummy. French? I have no idea. I don't speak baguette, so I don't know. I would guess German, because my friend Reptane, he's German. But I am likely very wrong on that. Northern German greeting, short for morning. Hey, I was right. Okay then. So now we know. He is indeed German. Clear, clear. Let's go. Okay, now there is no way this next delivery is not going to count towards the event. There is no way. Where was I? I was here in my house, wanting to die because I was not feeling well for 2 weeks. I'm feeling better now. I'm still recovering though, which is why I might not sound on my normal, because I am not. But hopefully by next Wednesday, I'm already gonna be completely back to normal. You're leaving already, it's scary. Alright then. Have a very good rest of your evening. What day actually? Because it's Thursday. And thank you so much for joining the stream. I hope you enjoyed the little you saw here. Sleep well. I'm assuming you're going to bed. Dream of dragons. You know, I'm actually going to run this light here. Let's change lanes because I'm gonna have to take a left up ahead. Oh, it feels so wrong to run these lights. You have no idea. Alright, everything's clear, let's go. Vroom, vroom. Our €9 ticket has run out. What is a €9 ticket? Why did I stop? I didn't have to stop there. What is wrong with me? Oh, dirt road, I like these. We're back now to horribly expensive public transport. Oh! I don't think I know what €9 ticket that it means still though. Is it like, oh, is it, wait, what? What am I trying to say? Is it a like a bus ticket that you spend nine bucks to buy and then you can use it for, I don't know what I'm saying. Forget that I said anything. I'm not very good. Send help. My brain is not functioning. I just smacked the trailer. You know what is weird, guys? Now that I am reversing into the straighter here to hook it up, I don't remember reversing to hook up that triple I have just delivered. Why don't I remember? I don't remember doing that. I obviously did it. I just don't remember doing that. Here. So hey, see what I was talking about just moments ago about seeing someone anywhere you go on ATS? There's someone. Okay, let's consult the route advisor to know what the ETA is. 5 hours and 41 minutes of in-game time, and I needed to stop at a gas station to get some fuel. But yeah, while you are back at expensive public transportation, over here the price of fuel has been dropping significantly, which is great because especially when the diesel becomes cheaper, the prices of everything also drops. But the country is actually experiencing deflation for the first time in decades. June, July, and August, you were able to spend €9 on the tickets. Hold on, let me focus on the road here for a moment. Ticket with which you could drive on any bus, non-electric, non-intercity, sorry, express trains in Germany. By the way, guys, I am reading the chat weirdly the way I am because I am paying more attention to the road than the chat itself. Because you know what they say, do not text and drive. I say that and that is exactly basically what I am doing. Well, do as I say, not as I do. Everyone and their moms and their pets bought that. Oh, then it did sound like a good, does sound like a good deal. Oh, gas station. Never mind, I kind of missed the entrance. certainly be helpful, mainly for those who do not have their own vehicle. But I do imagine it certainly must have come at a cost of some sort. And when I say come at a cost, I mean like, I don't know, cause some sort of financial overload on some other area, because that's how government benefits usually work. After all, nothing in this life is free. If you are being given something, the cost of that something is coming from somewhere else. Infrastructure wasn't really there to accommodate so many travelers. Trains were packed to the max. You know, I completely understand what you are saying. But being someone who is very familiar with how the infrastructure of public transportation works and is here in Brazil, it sounds so strange to me to hear someone say that the infrastructure in Europe was not really prepared to take on so many people. Because the image we have from the public transportation in Europe is basically like it is one of the best in the world, you know. So here, negative criticism towards it, like say, oh, this wasn't prepared, and etc. That sort of stuff. It does sound strange. BB German ban is notoriously bad. Really? And I always thought that Germany was one of the best in Europe. Maybe at one point it might have been, and I am just simply super outdated. It got privatized and went to absolutely crap since. Huh. That is weird. Usually when a company gets gets privatized, it usually becomes better. At least that's the way things work here. Reptane, you are blowing my mind. Obviously, that is very strange for me to read. Well, at least from my point of view anyway, because as I said, usually stuff in Europe tends to be better organized and better prepared than here, for example. So to know that things are not the quote-unquote perfection that is sold to us, and when I think of how things are here, I don't know what I'm trying to say. It's just, it's everything strange. Everything is strange. Having said that, though, the public transport here in my city, well, in the country in general, actually yes, in the entire country, the bus public transport is always run by private companies, and the service usually leaves a lot to be desired. It's actually not good. In my city, it's not as bad, but in terms of quality, it's really not very great. It works, but it's not very great. But that's more something to do with how things actually just work in the country itself than the companies themselves, I guess. I actually have no idea what I'm talking about. Also, I haven't taken the bus here in a few years. I kind of stopped taking the bus because at the time I was taking the bus to work, the company I was working for had an office in downtown, so I had to take the bus. But then I ran the math, and I figured that it was actually costing more to buy bus tickets to go to work and from work, then it would actually cost me to buy fuel if I were to use the car. So by the end, I ended up using the family car to go to and from work. And then the office shut down and we moved on to home office. And this was way before the pandemic. So the only expense I had then was with fuel for the car when I had to drive to some clients. Kind of missed that, to be honest. It's extremely expensive, unpunctual. That is another thing really weird for me to read. That public transportation is not on time in Europe. There's even this old saying. Oh my God, what was it saying? Be on time like an European or something like that. I can't remember. But anyway, let me finish reading that. Extremely expensive, unpunctual, badly maintained trains, frequent cancellations, and massive delays. Service is bad to non-existing, etc. My God, sounds worse than here. How can that be? You basically only take trains if you're a banker or something. You can afford the ICE train. Is that expensive? Good Lord. Explain this to me. If it is as bad as it sounds, then it is definitely, the public transportation in Germany at least, is definitely worse than it is in Brazil. Explain to me how is it possible that Germany has a worse public transportation system than freaking Brazil? Regional Express and especially RB, the regional train, are used by plebs who have little money. If you want good trains, go to Switzerland. That is really interesting. To put it lightly, anyway. And to think that they are pushing towards basically forcing the population to stop using cars and using trains only. You know, I like trains. I am not a fanatic for trains. I just like them, but I'm not actually a fan of trains myself. And I do understand their appeal when it comes to public transportation and supposedly the supposed efficiency they can bring. But maybe I am biased, but I always thought that if you really want to actually be on time for things and have actual freedom to really come and go wherever you want to wherever you want, come and go whenever, that's what I mean, come and go whenever you want to wherever you want. If really the best alternative is still to have a car, even if you have to rent one, because then you don't have to follow schedules. You don't have to wait in the cold, for example, for a train to arrive or a bus to arrive. You don't have to share that space with other people who are very likely smelly, ill people. And it is a lot more comfortable. Even if the car you have is a very old car that maybe have the years of being falling apart, it should still be more comfortable than sitting on a seat where millions of people have already sat, probably left some weird stuff behind that you can't see, but it's definitely there. But yeah, at least in your car you know what's there. But yeah. Also, oh, never mind. I forgot what I was going to say. I was going to say something about electric cars versus combustion, but I can't remember what was the idea that I had. Anyway, where the heck are we? It's actually farther than I thought it was. But it seems we are arriving. Also, brace yourselves, everyone. There is an automatic ad about to play. I think. If the Twitch indicator is he's telling the truth. Alright, let's turn here. This place looks lovely. Very pretty. Can I go to somewhere like this in real life? Look, this looks so nice. Let's turn here. How close are we to the destination? 1 hour and 22 minutes of game time. We are getting close. And I just remembered I need to stop at a gas station. So hopefully I'm gonna find one along the way. I have drove by a few. I didn't stop because I completely forgot I needed fuel. Well, I don't actually need fuel yet, but excuse me. I am already under half.
Should I ask for directions? Has just been redeemed for 500 dragon tokens. Mike now cannot use his GPS for the next 10 minutes.
For crying out loud, Ash. Why? Hey, happy Wednesday. Thank you for joining, Ash. Good to see you here. Alright, let me pull over for a sec. Because I need to check the map. And if you good luck finding one. Yeah. Alright, hold on a second. I mean, this should be very straightforward. Figuratively speaking, of course, because I have to take a sharp right over here. And that should be the second right. Also, I was able to use the buses in my city to get back home. How expensive is a ticket? Normally, if I may ask, Reptane. Go straight on the roundabout. And turn left on the Global Meals. Oh, there's a gas station along the way. Alright. Good. Okay. So, wait, for how long am I supposed to drive without the map again? I completely forgot. Let me check the description of should I ask for directions. I redeemed at the wrong time. No, you redeemed at the perfect time. What are you talking about? Let me look at the description here because I haven't streamed for 2 weeks, so I forgot. If Mike is driving on ATS or ATS2, have him not use the GPS and instead only follow the traffic signs to his destination for 10 minutes. It's not perfect. It says you. Okay, let's see here. And let's start the should I ask for directions now. Now instead of €9, I have to pay 76 euros and 60 cents per month. I thought you meant that like for a single ticket. My god. Only use the buses in my city. Jesus. Oh yeah, I can turn off the highlights. The headlights now. But I mean, how much is a single ticket? Like if you were to take a bus only once. Well, a single ticket would cost me 310. Yeah, that sounds salty. I mean, if I were to think of it like 3 reais and 10 cents, well, that actually is quite a lot of money. Actually, yes, that is quite a bunch of money. Now, especially if we convert that into Brazilian reais. It's way too much cash. Let's find out how much that actually is on today's exchange rate. 3 euros and 10 cents to Brazilian reais.
3 euros equals 15 Brazilian reals and 59 centavos.
Oof! My god, 15 bucks. Oh, technically 16 because that's 15.19. 16 reais for a single ticket? Dude. It should definitely be cheaper to buy gasoline for a car instead. On the long run anyway. Wait, is it here that I have to turn? Yes. That's a 2-zone ticket, by the way. Like, you can go to a place and then back from that place, right? No, that's still a lot of money. That's still a lot of money anyway. And I mean, come on. Germany, Europe, you have no business in charging so much for a ticket, for a bus ticket. Europe and Germany, they are first country places. Come on. Things should not cost that much. Imagine a honeycomb. Also, should I be switching to the right lane or should I stay on the left lane? Now I don't remember from the map. I do know that I have to keep going straight until I see... What was the name of the company? Oh, frick, where's the way station? I don't know where the way station is.
Safe travels out there.
Thank you, buddy. You too. Oh, hey, here's that roundabout that I saw. Okay, so I do have to turn left in here. Well, actually I have to go straight forward, but I want fuel. And oh god, what am I doing? What is happening here? Anyway, the way station is likely in this area as well. And the game does want me to stop there. Alright, way station is on this side. One in the middle, six on the outside. Hold on a second, let me focus on this real quick. Guess I enter through here. Yeah. That's how I do it. Yo, what's up? Alright, where's the gas station from here? On the other side? I'm guessing so. If you drive one on the middle, 6 on the outside. If you drive inside a single zone, you want to pay 2 euros. Drive from one to an adjacent one is a 2-zone ticket, which is 310. It doesn't sound very efficient if you ask me. I don't know about urban planning and how to plan out bus stuff. That doesn't sound very efficient. It's definitely not cheap. Okay, I think the gas station is this way. Aha, yes it is. It's right over there. Probably should have turned over there. It's fine. Oh wait, this is a parking lot. Can I go around there? Well, I can just drive through here. I don't know why I didn't do that. Now let's just go around here. Drive through the entirety of a zone with like 12 stops for €2. I don't know if the bus system here, in my city at least, is still the same since the last time I took a bus. So I might be wrong on what I'm saying, but it sounds like our system here is a bit simpler and definitely cheaper. Like, wait, hold on, where's the exit? There. Just drive one single stop into another zone for a 310. Yeah, here, hold on a second, let me focus on driving here for a moment. There. Over here, last I checked, I don't hit the pole. And right and left. If you say that I should have turned right instead of left, then it means that I should be going left over here. So over here, like you can buy a single ticket to go from point A to point B. Like for example, I could take a bus, and I'm talking about. I'm going to use the house I used to live on as an example because it had 2 bus stops right at the door, so I could just walk outside, walk a few meters to a bus stop, take a bus, go down to downtown, do whatever I need to do there, take another bus, and then arrive back at my doorstep, almost literally. So using that as an example, hold on, the company's here. Using that as an example, I could buy a single ticket for that one single trip. So you know, one ticket to go down to downtown, and then use another one to come back. Or if I were to take multiple buses to go from one region to another in the city, for example, I could buy, I don't remember what they call it, but you can buy one specific type of ticket that allows you to switch buses at the terminals, which is usually so you would just pay that single fare basically, and you could take multiple buses. But I don't remember how much that cost, but it wasn't much, and it sounds like it was a lot more efficient and cheaper than what you were describing there, Reptake. Also, by the time I am arriving here, the clock here says that I'm 5 seconds away from being able to use the map again. And time's up. I can use the map again. Yay! Okay, let's park this thing with the GPS on the screen. There. I kind of messed up this turn because I was distracted with my watch. Don't jackknife. What I do when I want to go to the city is drum roll. Pretend that's a drum roll. Yeah, I could have done this parking here in one go. was distracted turning off the chronometer on my watch. There we go. Drive down with my bike, do my things, then drive back on my bike over the Rhine River, back into my home zone, and enter the bus there. Sounds tiresome, but definitely a better alternative than pay that liver of a price that they are charging you. Oh, thank God this here counted. Wait, it counted as 2 deliveries? What? I promise you guys, it had a number 7 here. How did it count as 2? Let me check my log. My logbook. Hold on. That is weird. Wait, did it actually count the delivery from Great Falls to Butte? Except it didn't display it here when it should have? Is that what happened? I am so confused. Whatever, I don't care. Well, I do care a lot, but whatever, man. Oops. Oops. This is what I meant to do. I'll stop here for a brief moment. Turn off the engine, do a quick save. And now I am going to see what we have from here. And also if it is actually going to count or not. Unable to connect to World of Trucks. Why? About 116 euros to... I mean, hold on, that's pounds, not euros. So 9.90 reals for a bus here. Best thing about it is that the next bus journey is free if you take another bus within 1 hour and 30 minutes of taking the first bus. That sounds good. Plus they then have a chargeable card, which is a €5 deposit. Charge it up with money. Yeah, I know how those work. We have those here as well. I was actually cleaning up my wallet a couple days ago, and I found a card, a bus card, which is the ticket we use here, from when I used to take a bus to and from the office downtown. Actually, you guys now got me curious. How much is the cost of a bus ticket today in my city? Let's Google together, shall we? Let's see, why is Control T not working to open a new tab? Do it. Passagem de ônibus urbano Campo Grande MS. I made a typo. Urban bus ticket Campo Grande MS. Oh yes, preço or price. Let's see. Let's include the year 2022. Here, this is from June 29th. I'm assuming this is still current. So, Campo Grande freezes the bus fare in R$4.40 for 6 months, with a I forgot this word in English. So apparently, right now the regular ticket is €4.40. Real to euro. That should be €4.40. 85 cents of an euro. Interesting. What about in pounds? £0.73. Now this might look extremely cheap for you guys, and for you it certainly is, but you have to remember, if you want to really have an idea if you really want to have an idea how expensive something in Brazil is, do not look at the converted value. Look at the original value and think of this as, instead of 4 reais and 40 cents, think of it as, like, for example, 4 pounds and 40 cents, or 4 euros and 40 cents, or $4 and 40 cents. That's how you have an actual idea of how expensive things are here in this country, because believe me, this is not cheap. And yeah, go back to the game. Yeah, in a direct conversion, that is definitely barely anything. If only that was actually the case, though. Trust me, it isn't. Having said that, however, I can safely say from experience that the price of gasoline in Brazil is currently one of the cheapest in the world, if not the cheapest. Like just today, for example, I had to go to the doctor. I got some fuel. I paid 4 reais and 85 cents per liter, while a few months ago, before the cut on a few taxes, which is what made it possible for the prices to drop so much as they did, gasoline was already costing over $7, which was way too much money. Which, by the way, how much is 1 liter of gasoline in Europe? While you guys come up with the answer, I will check here what we have to deliver next. Wait, how many deliveries have I completed so far? 9, 9, 10, 11, 12. So 3 more. Okay, let's find something that is 100 miles. Is this going to count? Glendive to Billings. I have not delivered anything from Glendive. It should count. Let's try. Let's try it. Costs way too much. Well, that's not exactly very specific. Google. I am actually curious. Gasoline price in Europe.
I found these results.
I don't want to know in Albania. Dumb phone. Oh, it's a list. Let's see. Gasoline, Euro 95. I'm assuming this is the price per liter. Let's see Germany, for example. According to this list, it costs €1.78 in average for the gasoline. And what about wait, Britain is no longer in Europe. Never mind. 2.18 per liter for diesel. All right, I forgot most of the cars in Europe run on diesel, right? There's the diesel that I should actually be looking at. Well, I suppose gasoline is still fair. Let's see, where's Germany here? I already scrolled away. Alright, the United Kingdom is in the list. £2, or €2, rather. Because this list is in euros. €2.07 the liter of diesel, according to this list in Germany. Let's see, how much is that in reais? I'm actually going to base this on the price of gasoline, because that's what is mostly used here. So let's see, euro to real. That's according to the list 178. Let's round up to 180. That would be 936 reais. Oh my god, that is a lot of money. I kid you not, I paid exactly 4 reais on the liter of the gasoline today. That is how cheap that thing became here. For you to have an idea, let's change that to... Let's switch these around. Rio to Euro. So, oops. 485. 93 cents of an euro. See if there's any report here on the price of gasoline drop. These websites here, they bring news from my city. Ew, that's gross. Anything new about fuel prices here? No. Nah, I wanted to show you guys, but they haven't posted anything new recently. But yeah, you have just to just take my word for it. Gas prices are super, well, they're not exactly cheap, but they are definitely cheaper than in most of the world currently, which is amazing for us. $199 for Super Plus. We only use regular on our car, which is actually interesting because there was this one time when the guy at the gas station asked me if I wanted the premium one, and I said no, the regular is fine, and he said but it's the same price. And I find it odd because the premium has always been more expensive than the regular. This drop in prices here actually came at a very good time because I desperately needed to buy gasoline for the car that I am struggling to finish restoring. And because I am currently unemployed, I am extremely short on cash. So every cent counts. Every cent counts. And like really, before prices started to drop, I usually would ask for 50 reais of gasoline in the tank, and that usually would result in roughly around 7 liters in total, which is really not much. Now, however, with these cuts in the price, with those exact same 50 reais, I can buy over 10 liters, and that is fantastic. If it drops some more, we're going to be able to buy a full tank, which is something that our car hasn't had in years. And the ethanol fuel is actually even cheaper than gasoline. I don't remember the actual price that is being charged right now, but I think it is something around $3.50, more or less. I don't remember. And I'm saying this because most modern cars in Brazil, they are flex fuel, which means they can run on either gasoline or ethanol, or both at the same time. So if you have one of those cars and you want to save a few more bucks, you can refuel with ethanol and spend less money. Just put math. In US gallons, the 8.25 per petrol. I have no idea how many gallons 1 liter is. I'm curious now. Let me ask my phone. Hold on, let me stop here because I actually have to look at the phone. Close this here. 1 US gallon, 2 liters.
1 liquid gallon is equal to 3.785 liters.
United States, why are you weird with your measurement units? Stop using imperial. It's stupid. So 1 gallon is about 3 liters and 78. Okay. I still don't really know how much that actually is. I mean, seriously, just use meters, kilometers, and liters. So much simpler. And Celsius. Also, am I the only one who thinks this trader kind of looks like a giant battery? Like a giant AA? Or a AAA even? I like it though. Alright, let's see. What is our route? We're going through there, Miles City, and arriving at Chams in Billings. The ETA is roughly around 3.
Should I ask for directions? Has just been redeemed for 500 dragon tokens. Mike now cannot use his GPS for the next 10 minutes.
I'm gonna smash my head on the steering wheel now. No! Oh my god, no. Excuse me. Alright, let me turn on the... Hold on, let me turn off the map on the dashboard. Turn on the chronometer on my watch. And look at the route. Okay, so prime directive in this case. Follow traffic signs that send me towards Billings. But first I'll probably have to follow signs that tells me to go to Miles City. Okay. So getting out of Gallon, I have to take the second, not the first, the second left, then the first exit on the left. Go straight ahead. Wanna bet that I'm gonna miss this exit here? Like last time, when I was arriving in, where was it? I think it was Portland? Yes. No, it wasn't Portland. I was going to Bellingham. From the east side here. And I was on this road. It seemed very simple on the map, but when I got to this point here, this area, I got confused, and instead of taking the exit to head north towards Bellingham, I took the exit to go towards Seattle. And by the time I could use the GPS again, I was right about here, more or less. Completely off course. But yeah, this I said this the last time as well, but this here seems to be simple enough. So second left, first left, then straight forward, and I should be able to see that repair shop out of the window, assuming that it's still gonna I'm still not gonna be able to use the GPS by this point. So when I see that, I gotta pay attention to the exit. Alright. And let's set off the chronometer. Hold on. Let's shift into drive. And let's set off the chronometer. Now. Alright, chronometer running. I have no idea where I am going. It's like driving blindfolded. Wait, seriously, actually, where am I going? Where's the exit? Oh, that's the exit. Wait, that is the exit, right? Ah, yes. This is the exit. Believe me, I got myself lost at a gas station once. In the game. I managed to get lost already. I know, right? Almost. Almost, but not really. Out of habit, I almost turned on the GPS here. Alright. Off we go. So hold on, I gotta pay attention to the exits. I'm assuming this is the first left. Where do I turn? Here? No. Okay, it's gotta be right over there, right? Why did I actually already miss my exit? Oh, please tell me I didn't. Here's a left. I cannot turn here. There's another left over there. Oh, shut up with the tickets. Okay, I think I am still on course. I also just realized there's a guy behind me. Okay, so if I am indeed on the right course for now, I'm gonna have to take the first exit on the left. It's already that late, Crypting? Peace. What time is it here? Oh, that wasn't a clap, by the way. You might have heard on the microphone. I just snapped the finger. Alright, this should be my exit. It is now 8:55 p.m. for me. Oh, by the way, for anyone arriving on the stream now, stick to the end. And if I have the possibility, I am actually gonna do a couple game reports before I end the stream. It's not a moderation stream today, but I'm gonna make an exception. Oh, rather Riptain, but it's still so early. I'm just kidding. Oh, you got a job. Congratulations. Already doing better than me. But yeah, you should take some rest so you won't get late for your job. Riptain, thank you so much for joining the stream today. I hope you enjoyed it. It was very good to see you again and to talk to you. The problem is that I just came out of the shower and my hair is still wet. Oh, I know the feeling. Yeah, if you go to bed like that, you are just gonna wet your pillow. And that's no bueno. Okay, so I should be on that road where I have to just simply go straight forward and not take any exits until I see the repair shop, which, if by the time I get there I still cannot use the GPS, I should be able to see it out of the window, this area here, more or less. See, just to dry up. I know the feeling. I never had long hair myself, but when my hair gets big, it usually grows so much that it doesn't grow long, but rather it goes roof. You know, it becomes too fluffy. Enough to fall on my shoulders though. And if I comb it down anyway, in my eyes, and that takes forever to dry up as well. Another feeling. Thank God I managed to get a haircut a couple weeks ago though. Because that crap was so bad. Gaddy, thank you so much for the follow. Welcome to the stream and happy Wednesday. Or if it is already Thursday for you, then happy Thursday. It is very nice to have you here. But yeah, my hair was so big that I actually had to wear a cap so I could drive. Otherwise, my hair would just get flung into my eyes all the time by the wind, and that was extremely annoying. It actually would hurt, and it made driving very, very hard. And mind you, I hate wearing caps, especially because I usually tend to bonk the cap on stuff, and the thing just flies off my head. It's annoying. Speed. How mildly warm it is right now for you? Okay, I said mildly warm mostly as a joke because I am aware that currently apparently there is a heat wave going through Europe. On the subject of temperature, it's not exactly warm here today, but it's not cold either. It's on that spot, on just the right spots that I like. 24 degrees Celsius right now. I love it. Put down a beat finally. Oh, that is good. Makes sense though, because if I am not mistaken, you guys in the northern hemisphere should be approaching the fall season now. Right? Like fall is October and November? Or does it start earlier than that? Do I even know? I don't think I know. But I know you're getting close to it. That is about as much as I know. Alright, just passed a sign that said Miles City up ahead. And guys, looking at my chronometer now, it looks like I'm actually going to be able to use the GPS to enter Bellingham? No, whatever city I'm going to. Because over here it says that I have already driven without the GPS for 8 minutes and 34 seconds. Warm enough to make me sweat all through everything in my backpack while driving my bike. Well, at least it is not as hot anymore. Like, what is the average temperature? What has been the average temperature, more or less, if I may ask? I'm just trying to make conversation at this point. No, I did not miss the exit, Ash. I would have if I was going to Miles City. This time I am actually paying attention to the signs. For the most part, at least. Way station next right. It didn't beep. Interesting. Maybe that's because I am transporting fuel. 28 to 32 degrees Celsius. Yeah, that is what I would consider to be bearable, hot/warm. That is more or less what we usually get here most of the year. It is not a temperature range that I am comfortable with, but it is something that I consider to be bearable. Personally though, I prefer 28 to be the max temp and not the minimum. And even 28 I still find to be a little warmer than I would rather have. But yeah, definitely bearable. So now we should start seeing signs that say whatever city I'm going to. Also, it's already been 10 minutes. 10:32 in fact. So, I can use the GPS again. Well. Hey, we're getting close. Nice. Next Wednesday it's supposed to get cooler again. That is nice. Is the forecast expecting to rain as well? Cold over here usually comes with rain. I mean, usually rains first, and then it gets cold right after. And that is in my region. I don't know if it really works that way in the rest of the country. After all, we do have to remember that Brazil is as large as a continent. Like really, although Brazil is thought to be mostly a tropical country, it isn't really. But it's definitely a country that is warm to hot most of the year. There are regions in this country where it does snow. That is how wildly different the weather is across the regions in this place, because that's how big this place is. A max of 23 degrees Celsius. That sounds lovely. Excuse me. I would claim it right again. But I think I've claimed enough rewards for today. I mean, you can claim some other stuff. Although, to be honest, I don't think there's many options now available today, because I am still recovering from being unwell these past 2 weeks. I have disabled a few things that I would normally have active for the Wednesday stream. Yeah, multiple thunderstorms. Always with the thunderstorms right there, huh? I don't remember when it was the last time we had a thunderstorm here. It wasn't long ago, though. I have 64,000. I do. I don't know, man. Those are your tokens. You do whatever you wish with them. Ironically, though, despite you guys being the ones who spend the tokens, I am the one who has to pay the price for that. It's all in good fun, obviously. Those options are there for us to have fun. Honestly, I do want to add more redeeming options there. Redemption? Reward options there. But I still can't think of much else. To add. Having said that, though, I did add a new option. However, that is only going to be available when I am playing Phasmophobia. I don't remember what it is called, but it is an option to make me use the cursed item right away. If someone redeems if I am playing Phasmophobia, the option will obviously be available. And if I am playing Phasmophobia, if someone redeems the thing, the option, the thing, whatever the reward, then I have to use the cursed item, whatever the cursed item is, the cursed possession rather. I have to use it, even if it means me dying. So that should be fun. On that note, I should play Phasmo soon. Oh frick! Ah crap! Well, I guess I'm going this way now. Imagine if I wasn't using the GPS. Okay, where can I U-turn now? There's a problem. Okay, it looks like there's a company right on my left coming up. Should be able to turn around here. Wait, not here. It's still the next one. Alright, not so bad. How does one manage to follow the route without a GPS, but then couldn't follow the route with a GPS on? I don't know, Ash. As I said earlier, I am a weird guy. I am a weird guy. I am that weird. To be fair though, I could have swerved to the left before I actually took the turn. I could have done that. I still had enough room to do that when I realized I was on the wrong lane. But the thing is, my brain functions in a way that I find it difficult to break any traffic laws, even in a game. And I was already at a point where I could still change lanes, technically speaking, but I was at a point where I was already on a section where overtaking, rather changing lanes was forbidden. So I just kept going. I kind of went into automatic mode on there. That's why I didn't change lanes and just kept going. Oh my god, I was reading the chat. 213 times water, maybe. All in one stream. Are you nuts? I mean, sure, if you would like to redeem that. The only problem with that is that usually you only have one single glass of water, not a bottle. So I would have to step away from the computer a few times to refill my glass. Okay, now I am not going to get myself lost. Famous last words. Like that one time I was playing PC Beauty Simulator, for example, and I said that I was going to enable the XMP profile on the BIOS of a client's computer. And I said, I don't remember the exact words I used, but I said something along the lines of, I'm going to enable this. What's the worst that could happen? And I actually said after that, famous last words. And then I rebooted that PC, and immediately it gave me a message saying, error, no OS found. And I was like, all I did was turn on the XMP mode profile and say, what's the worst that could happen? Talk about karma, hey?
Hydrate. Gotta keep hydrated.
Well, 13 cups of water. Well, technically speaking, those would be sips, but... Excuse me. Just make sure you rename the stream to ATS. Is that this tradition? Oh god. Stuff like this is one of the reasons why I usually go to the bathroom right before the stream actually starts. Like while it is running the intro, with that 10 minutes counter. That is the time I usually use to go to the bathroom, grab a glass of water, and then come back. Which is why sometimes when people send a message in the chat during that countdown, that is why I usually don't respond immediately. Simply because I am away from the PC. Alright, let's finish this delivery. Hope it is going to count towards the event. And then, if possible, why do I need a parking brake? And then, if possible, do a couple game reports. Beep, 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 beep. That's annoying. Ethane delivered from Glendive to Billings. Oh, Billings, that's where I was going to. Did it count? Son of a... I'm gonna become the Joker. Fine, whatever. Let me park this truck somewhere. Somewhere over the rainbow. Blah blah blah. I forgot the lyrics. Okay, right here in the middle of this place is good enough. Quick save. Let me do a couple manual saves. Because yes. Nope. Now then, let me hide the game real quick from you guys so I can prepare to check reports. Assuming there are reports to do here today. Let's see. That. This, click that. Why? Okay, I think everything is in order here. Let me switch to this. Now this. Oh, you're going to miss the report, Riptane. But that is perfectly understandable. My friend, thank you so much for joining the stream. I hope you enjoyed. Have a very good night of sleep, rest well, and have a good day at work as well. And dream of dragons, that is extremely important. That's the most important thing of all in this universe. Have a good night, Riptane. See you soon, bye bye. Alright guys, as I promised, kind of promised, let's look at some reports. There's only 2 reports here today. Actually, this is also going to be the first time that I do reports on American Truck Simulator on a stream. Oh my god, I hate streamer mode so much. Let's see what happened here. Blocking incorrect way. Incorrect overtaking. Incorrect way / overtaking. Right? Check your plates. You don't have cabin plates. I can't see your license plate. Where is your license plate? It's there. It's fine. What did you just say in the chat? Nothing. Let's speed this up to the point where something happens. Approaching bar still here, going through. Here, someone is approaching. So far, so good. I have no idea if this here is the guy who reported him. So far nothing happened. Why has this guy been reported exactly? This is the end of the report. Okay, maybe something else happened back there and I missed. So let's rewind. The horn though. Be kind. Rewind. Oh my god, I love that Doppler effect. Okay, let's watch from this point here. That's almost the start of the demo. Oh, he banged himself over there. That's not a problem. I would not even kick for that. Always fine. Nothing happened. The horn. Nothing happened here. Nothing happened. Let's see. Oh. Hey, there's someone driving by here. That's nice. Oh, my eyes. Player. Anyway, this one is for hacking, bug feature abusing. Sounds tasty. Am I gonna be able to take a bite out of this one? Check your plates as usual. How goes there? So far so good. Then again, we are still very early on the demo. Is he alone here? Yes, for now he is alone. The only reason why I'm not going to speed up the playback on this demo is because since he has been reported for supposedly hacking slash bug slash feature abusing, it is possible he maybe used a speed hack cheat. So if he did, I will actually have to observe his acceleration, not just his top speed. So far everything's fine except for his driving. On the bright side, we get to see this beautiful landscape of... what is this place? Rocky? I have no idea what that is, where that is. I do know, I just don't remember. Probably Washington? Or is this Idaho? Can I see? Okay, never mind. I didn't know I could do that. Hang on. Pause. Where is this? Ah, frick, I can't interact with the map. Gotta close this first. Oh, it's California. Okay. I was way off. It's the north of California. That's why I thought Washington. Right, he's picking up speed, but he is going downhill. So fair is fair. I don't remember what the limited top speed is on American Truck Simulator. I completely forgot. It is higher than on Euro Truck Simulator. The demo just ended. Did he speed up and I didn't see? Somehow missed it. I do know that the top speed is actually higher than 104. 104 or 105. I think it is higher than 105 miles per hour. But I actually don't remember what the top speed is. If you guys do remember, then please do tell me. That would be helpful. Nothing happened. Nothing happened here either. It's like that this guy has reported him. If something happened, if that guy actually did cheat, it happened way up ahead over there. Or not way up ahead, but after he left this area here. And therefore after the end of this demo. There's nothing to do here. Except to delete it. Alright, I wish there were more reports on ATS here, but... let me see the time. Would you guys like to see a few more reports? Maybe 2 more, 3 or 4? Let's jump into ETS2 because that's a place that never runs out of reports. Let me just undo a couple things that I did here on ATS, and then I'm gonna go on ETS2, do a few more reports there, and then I press the wrong key. and then I'm gonna end the stream. Just one moment, my friends. Fly, okay. Okay, now I can close the game. Your progress will be saved automatically. But yes. Just one moment. I am starting WedTruckSim again. And booting into ETS2. Alright, Ash. Thank you so much for joining the stream. I hope you enjoyed. Have a very good night of sleep and dream of dragons. It was good to see you here. The game is starting, guys. Just one moment. Game, could you please be a little faster, a little quicker? If I ever get the budget, I would definitely switch this 2 TB hard drive that I use for the games for an SSD. The problem is, a 2 TB SSD over here costs about as much as a mid-range graphics card. And like, oh my god, it's absurd. Bring all dinosaurs instead. How dare you? How dare you? Oh, there we go. The game is finally on the screen. On my screen anyway. It's going to be... There it is. Alright, Euro Truck Simulator. Let's go to Simulation 1. Continue. Naturally, I will have to hide the game for a brief moment while I prepared for doing reports live. So let me load into the game first. Then I'll do that. Of course, I have to load into the game first. I cannot do anything right now on this screen anyway. Signing in. American Truck Simulator took a very long time to sign in when I first booted it earlier today before the stream. Thankfully, this one here didn't take as long, but I thought it was going to take about as long. Riga, Latvia. Beyond the Baltic Sea DLC. Hey, there's my beautiful green and yellow truck. Also, apparently there is a new World of Trucks event about to be launched in September. That one is going to be for Euro Truck Simulator 2 only, but I didn't really read much into it. I just glanced at the post on SCS Software's blog earlier today. Oh my eyes. Okay, let me hide the game for a moment and prepare this for doing reports live. Give me just a moment, guys. I have to click this button, this, and also that. Now I block all PMs because I do not want to be annoyed by people. You're her. Just a sec. Ah, frick, I messed up. Okay, let me confirm. Is everything right here? Yes, everything is correct. Let's go back to the game. Switch my deck over here to ban reasons. Alright. Everyone is just player. Just player and suspects. Let's see. Reported for blocking. Time for this report is going to be loaded in a while. Sure, it's taking a while. Wanna bet this escalate this bird? Check your plates. These are fine. I am immediately triggered. Okay, this here, reckless driving, inappropriate overtaking. Let me start this thing from the beginning though. Get a better angle. My god, that truck holding the horn. These two guys doing this. Could they even have avoided that without overtaking the grass? They did not even try. They did not even try. Both driving the same car, same color. I have a feeling they are friends. I have no idea what that says. I kind of wanted to speed up this demo, but this road being the road that it is, and these guys already having done what they did back there, I feel like if I speed up I'm going to miss stuff, and then I'm going to have to rewind, watch it again, and that's just going to cost even more time. Try and overtake. Demo is reaching the end. Are they going to do anything else? This guy really wants to overtake this truck. Oh, he ended the red truck. Oof. Oh! Oh, that was nasty. That was nasty. Okay, let me save this clip. I'm going to confirm this saved correctly, and then I'm going to review this part at the end, and then I'll make a decision on what exactly to do with this guy. I am already going to issue a ban for that reckless overtaking back there, because this guy did not even try to avoid the bus or whatever was back there. They both just swerved into the grass without ever touching the brakes. And that's not really how you do it. Let's see here. I think this is the file. I am on another window right now, by the way. That's why you don't see what I am doing. Also, this file is outdated. It can go away. I just don't think I can show you what exactly I am doing on the other screen here. Yeah, okay. It did record properly. Very good. It's kind of rename the file. Let's take a look back here. Let's rewind to right about here. He's tailgating this truck. That is not a good thing to do. I know he really wants to overtake, but it is here and it is here ending. this tailgating is basically what led him to here and the truck. There, he's going faster than the truck. The truck slowed down because this... I was gonna say it's an uphill, but it isn't really. But the truck did slow down, probably because this is a turn, so it slowed down to make the turn. And he was actually speeding up, or is it just my impression? Let's pay attention to his speed and the player in front. Oops, wrong button. Yes, he is speeding up, or at least he did for a little bit there. And that led him to bump the tail of that truck. He got flung into the left lane, right on someone's face, and that led to a chain reaction here where everyone basically got involved. So, reckless driving. Reckless driving. Did an inappropriate overtake at the start, right? So yes, inappropriate overtaking as well, and was a collision. Because if it wasn't for his tailgating on this player, he would not have hit any of that guy, and it would not have caused this chain reaction that just happened. There's just something I need to check first before I actually issue the ban. One moment, please. So he's getting reckless driving, inappropriate overtaking, and the cause a collision, right? Here. And boom. Okay, oh, but there's also the other guy who did an inappropriate overtake. Also, I need to take note of this thing here. For a moment. 1859799. There we go. Right, let's go back to the start of this demo. Pause here. Actually, don't pause here. Just keep playing. I want to watch this guy here more closely. See, his brake lights never came on. It did not try. And he had so much room, so much time back there to slow down, react properly to the situation happening ahead. Instead, he chose not to. Now his friend is going to bump the player in front. Moment. Not yet. There it goes. Get his hero's found. Look at the mess over there. Alright, so this dude here is only getting the reckless driving and inappropriate overtaking. And boom. Away he goes. Let's take note of his Bentley D. 1859801. Okay, let's go to the next thing. That's the next report. Let's click on watch demo before something happens live and I have to take action immediately. Check your plates. Italian logistic, it's fine. It looks like this guy wants to overtake. I mean, when that isn't the case on Calais-Duisburg. Am I right? That is always the case. Calais-Duisburg. In your truck simulator as a whole. Oh yes, this looks really safe. Hang on. Back here for a moment. Ah, shut up with the horns, you people. This was very inadequate, but that guy managed to merge back in time without causing much more trouble. What was this guy reported for again? Forgot. Collisions, inappropriate overtaking. So he's definitely going to try overtake someone and probably either crash head-on into oncoming traffic, or he'll try to avoid that by swerving back into the right lane and side-sweeping one of those two players ahead. Oh, what is this scout doing? I'll deal with that guy later. Oh, there we go. This is a no overtaking zone. Yep, exactly as I predicted. Doppler effect on the horn when I speed up. I like that. Oh my god, how many bans am I gonna have to issue here? Way more than it's worth it. That's for sure. Alright, let's save this clip here. Reckless driving. Inappropriate overtaking. Cause a collision. Is that right? That is right. I should have checked if the clip saved correctly before I clicked the ban button. I mean, not really, but it's just good practice. Take a quick look over there first. I'm still gonna do more stuff on this report. There's more stuff there has happened. Let me take a note. This number here, 1859802. Okay. Let's watch that guy now. Because, excuse me, because he also did, what happened here? Looks like that one has frozen in place. Because this one also seemed to have done a few boo-boos. And I think I see some insulting by this guy in the chat as well. I'm just not entirely sure what that means. I'll have to run that by someone who speaks the language. Looks like Spanish? No, that's Italian. I thought there was his poor overtake and merging back. Why must everyone honk so much? It's as if their life depends on it. I'll have to deal with this scout. Deal with him as well. Alright, here we go. And that scout. With that one as well. And these two coming up. Just why? Okay, so this is the end of this demo. Right, I have to decide if I am actually going to issue a ban or if a kick would have been enough for his poor overtaking here at the start of the demo. Here, he starts the overtake. Traffic comes up ahead. The white Renault reacts to him being in the wrong way and goes into the grass preemptively. Preemptively? Is that the word I'm looking for? I don't know, in preparation to a potential crash. So in order to avoid it. And this guy manages to shove himself back into the right lane on a tight spot, but wide enough of a gap. I think a kick would have been enough. Let's see now about the overtaking scouts. There were in total, I think, 3 cars. The first one... Has the first one already gone by? Or is that yet to come? Oh no, there he is. He is over there. Okay, pause. Let's drop the camera. Oh hey, there you are. I've managed to select him. But I haven't. Stop the pause here, I mean. That's a lot of stuff on the chat. And then he goes into the wrong way for some reason, then back, right lane. And he ran out of range. Oops, 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 oops. Pause here. Play. Pause. Let me watch him closely again. Why has that truck given him so much room? It's like that this truck has used it for this car. Oh, I suppose a kick here would be in order. Never mind. As a kick is not going to be in order. Because his cabin plates are inappropriate. Freaking fantastic. Well then. I forgot how to write. Inappropriate cabin plates. Change / remove and make ban. And at this and kablamo. Right. And we still have more people to check in this same demo here. So let's go back. Actually, let's not go back to anywhere. Let's drop the camera instead. And let's spectate this guy again. Because now I want to watch the other two cars that he will encounter. Alright, he was here. Play, pause, drop the camera. Let me observe these cars. So this one here seems to be the first, but there's two of them. The other one is probably out of range from the guy that has been reported originally. And play. Hold on, let's go back a little more. And let's play from here. So apparently he has been weaving across the lanes for a little while, because clearly this truck needed to avoid him, needed to swerve into the grass to avoid him driving on the left lane here, the opposite lane. Spectate him. And he seems to be doing that constantly on purpose. I mean, honestly, what is the reason to do this? There is no valid reason to do that. We're out of range. Ah! It's him. Spectate. Let me watch this again from a different angle. Pause. Normal speed. Pause. See how he came? Oh, his name came from the left lane here. He was definitely weaving between lanes, like playing chicken with traffic. Let me watch from this angle, because I do remember there was another car behind him. Unless I am remembering this wrong. Maybe I am thinking of another report. Yeah, I must be thinking of a different report. Unless there's another car over there. Yeah. Look at that. Unforgivable. Pause. Save. So you, my dude, you are getting reckless drive, actually intentional reckless drive. Intentional. Capital I, that's the first word. Intentional reckless driving. And wrong way, because he is driving the wrong way. Now then, let me see something here real quick before I actually click on the button, button. Yes, the band button. Check if the clip has recorded properly. Again, I don't actually have to check this every time I am about to issue a ban, but it is good practice. Because who knows if the if/when some evidence clip actually fails to save, you know? It has happened before. And then you issue the ban, you don't have the evidence, and that's trouble. Let's see here. Intentional reckless driving in the wrong way. Okay. So 2 weeks, that's 14, right? Yes. 2 weeks and 1 day. There's my magical number. Or his magical number, maybe. Depends on the point of view. 1859806. Now let me confirm if I am going nuts, or if there were... Yes, there is indeed another pair over here. Oh my god, why? Just why? Let me check your plates. Tariaudi, that looks like a name. What about yours? Yeah, see, okay, that also seems like a name. Let's rewind this a little bit. Right, pause here, and play. Actually, rewind a little more. Need them to be loaded. Right, pause here. There's the blue one driving the wrong way. Same thing with the white one. And there's the blue one, still in the wrong way, after nearly hitting the other guy. Alright, let's focus on the white one now. And this here should be enough. Okay, save this clip. Confirm it has saved correctly. See, this is one of the reasons why I usually prefer to do reports on American Truck Simulator. You get you claim one report and it's like an offer sale on a supermarket where you get like, I don't know, you know, one of those packages of toilet paper, for example, that announce, hey, take 12 and pay only 11, you know. This is one. These reports are like you claim one and you take 5 for 1, you know. Oh man. Okay, so these two, they were driving recklessly and in the wrong way on purpose. Come on, honestly, there's no explanation as to why they were doing this. So, intentional, reckless driving, wrong way. This and that for this dude. And this dude. Now let me take a note of my magic numbers over there. I pressed the wrong button, I mean key. Fine. 185-9808 followed by 185-9809. So that should be, wait. Why is that clip over there not labeled? Wait a second, I think I just made a mistake here. Wait, what? Oh yes, I definitely made a mistake. Wait, what the heck have I done here? Wait. Hold on. I'm sorry for the game being somewhat frozen on the screen, guys, but I need to verify this. 799-801. Oh, I'm stupid. I renamed the wrong file. Ah, well. 185-9808. 185-9809. Very good, that's more like it. And I clicked the wrong thing. Alright. And that's gonna be it for today, actually. Like I said, this was not supposed to be a moderation stream, so I'm not gonna be doing a lot of reports. I will be doing another moderation stream soon-ish PM. But today was just supposed to be the World of Trucks event on American Truck Simulator. So, with that said, I do stream every Wednesday, Friday, and Sunday, guys. I play American Truck Simulator and Euro Truck Simulator, and sometimes, occasionally, some other trucking game every Wednesday at 7 p.m. Eastern Time. And I play a different game every Friday, also at 7 p.m. Eastern. And on Sundays, I do art live at 3 p.m. Eastern Time. I have a Discord server available. It's called Dragon Realms. If you'd like to join, you are more than welcome to. However, for the time being, only members of the art group Dragon Realms over at Dragon Realms and subscribers to the channel here on Twitch, only those are currently able to join the server. But I will be opening the server to the general public in the near future, so anyone can join at any time. And that's gonna be it for today, everyone. Thank you all so much for joining the stream. I hope you enjoyed and had some fun. And I wish you all have a great rest of the week. Until we meet again on the next stream, God bless you all, stay safe and healthy, have a very good night of sleep, and as always, dream of dragons. Catch you guys next time. Bye bye.
Present some problems and we don't know what to do. You've come to find your feelings and exactly what you knew. The odds are stacked quite poorly if without a winning hand. But bear in mind your bearing's only worse if you don't try. Don't bet on taking trips because they'll turn your trips to trash. You've got to set your sights and hopes on setting not to crash. The truth can seem quite big if you don't make your plans unfurl. But I will not let that my opinion of such enough. Bet on sinking ships because they'll turn your chips to trash. You've got to set your sights and hopes on setting not to crash. The truth can seem quite bleak if you don't make your plans unfurl. But I would not let that mar my opinion of the fact that if you could fix the failings of the current paradigm, we would have a hero who's supposed to be elusive and on time. Just on time. And then we would all contrive new conflicts, you know. Don't bet on sinking ships because they'll turn your chips to trash. You've got to set your sights and hopes on setting not to crash. The truth can seem quite bleak if you don't make your plans unfurl. But I would not let that mar my opinion of the show. Don't bet on sinking ships because they'll turn your chips to trash. You've got to set your sights and hopes on setting not to crash. The truth can seem quite bleak if you don't make your plans unfurl. But I would not let that mar my opinion. Stipulations placed before you to get all the things you really need. Mr. Big may make things hard, but you have got to plant your seeds. Go to war, fight more. Your dreams thrive by competition. You'll find no one famous ever got there just by flinching at their foes. Cling against the torment, claw with all your might at what you know. Don't let go, just glow. Don't wait or play to indecision. Don't bet on taking